Welcome to Deep Dive Discussion, where we explore the ideas, strategies, stories, and inspiration that really matter.
Yeah, digging into things that can make a real difference.
Today our topic is The Book Start With Why: How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action by Simon Sinek.
Ah, a really influential one. It's shaped a lot of thinking about leadership and marketing.
Definitely. So let's dive in. Our mission today is really to get under the hood of Sinek's main argument.
Right, to understand that core idea about leading with why and, what it actually means in practice.
We'll look at the key concepts, some examples he uses.
And hopefully give you some practical insights you can take away.
Okay, so part one in the book kind of sets the stage. It looks at a world that, well, doesn't start with we.
Exactly. He argues that most people, most organizations, they operate based on assumptions. They focus heavily on what they do.
Can you unpack that danger of assumptions a bit? He mentions it right in chapter 1.
Sure. It's like we see something work, maybe a competitor's tactic, and we assume we know why it worked.
Okay. Mistaking correlation for causation.
Precisely. We copy the what without grasping the underlying why that actually drove the success. And that often leads to flawed strategies.
Because you're not building on a solid foundation. You're just reacting.
Exactly. Then he moves into manipulations like carrots and sticks. Chapter 2, I think.
Yeah, the usual suspects, discounts, promotions, fear tactics, peer pressure.
Right. And Sinek's point is these things can get short-term results. A sale might boost numbers for a quarter.
But it doesn't build loyalty, does it?
Not true loyalty, no. It's transactional. As soon as the incentive disappears or a better one comes along.
The customer's gone. There's no deeper connection.
Exactly. True loyalty, he argues, comes from something else entirely. It's built on emotion, on trust, and that sets the stage for the why.
Which brings us neatly to part 2, the golden circle. This is probably Sinek's most famous concept.
It really is. It's a simple but powerful visual. Imagine 3 concentric circles. On the outside, you have what? That's your product, your service, your job function. Pretty straightforward.
What you do. Got it.
Inside that is how. This is your process, your unique selling proposition, your values in action, how you do what you do.
A differentiator, maybe?
Could be. And right at the center, the bullseye. That's the why.
The purpose.
Your purpose, your cause, your core belief. Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? It's not about making money, that's a result.
Right. The profit is an outcome, not the driving purpose itself.
Exactly. And the key insight is how inspiring leaders and organizations communicate.
They go inside out, right? Not outside in like most.
Precisely. Most companies say, here's what we do, here's how we're different or better. Want to buy one.
Makes sense. Seems logical.
It does seem logical, but Sinek argues the inspiring approach is reversed. Start with why.
Here's what we believe. Here's our purpose.
Then here's how we bring that belief to life. And finally, here's what we offer as proof of our belief.
And Apple is the classic example he uses.
It's a perfect one. They don't start by saying, we make great computers.
No, their message is more like, everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently.
The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly.
And we happen to make great computers. Want to buy one.
See? It feels different. It connects on another level.
And he connects this to biology, doesn't he? The brain.
Yes. Chapter 4. This is fascinating. He aligns the golden circle with the human brain.
How so?
The what corresponds to the neocortex, our rational, analytical brain. It handles language, facts, figures.
Okay.
The how, and crucially the why, correspond to the limbic system. That's where our feelings, trust, loyalty, and decision-making reside. It has no capacity for language, though.
So that's the gut feeling part of the brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When a company communicates why first, they're talking directly to the part of the brain that makes decisions.
But can't articulate why it feels right.
Right. The decision often feels right, it's emotional, and then we use the neocortex, the what's information, to rationalize that gut decision.
So communicating why first taps into that deeper decision-making center.
That's the idea. It resonates. It builds trust on a more fundamental level than just listing features.
But just having a why isn't enough, is it? He talks about clarity, discipline, and consistency in chapter 5.
Absolutely critical. You need clarity of why everyone needs to understand it deeply.
Not just a poster on the wall.
Definitely not. Then discipline of how you have to live by your guiding principles and values consistently. Your actions must align.
And consistency of what?
Yes. Everything you do, everything you say, your products, your marketing, it all needs to consistently reflect your why if there's a mismatch.
Trust breaks down. People see the disconnect.
Instantly, that authenticity is key.
Which leads nicely into part 3. Leaders need a following. Trust emerges from this consistency.
That's the core of Chapter 6. When your words and actions consistently align with your stated why, people feel safe. They trust you.
And that trust is the foundation for loyalty.
Real loyalty, not the transactional kind we talked about earlier. It's a feeling of connection and shared belief.
And this is how ideas spread, right? He brings in the law of diffusion of innovation in Chapter 7.
Yeah, the classic bell curve innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards.
How does the why fit in?
The why is what attracts the left side of the curve, the innovators and early adopters. These are the people who buy into new ideas because they align with their own beliefs. They take a risk because they believe in the why.
They're not waiting for everyone else. They connect with a purpose.
Exactly. And once these people embrace it, they create the momentum, the social proof that helps the idea cross the chasm to the early majority. The mass market follows the believers.
So you don't aim for everyone initially. You aim for those who believe what you believe.
That's the strategy. Inspire the believers first.
Okay, part 4. How to rally those who believe. This gets into the practicalities, starting with the partnership between why and how in Chapter 8.
Right. You can have the most inspiring why, a brilliant vision, but if you can't execute...
Doesn't go anywhere.
Exactly. The why person is often the visionary, the dreamer. They need how people, the builders, the operators who can make that vision a reality.
So it's about finding people who believe in the why and are good at the how.
It's a crucial partnership. The leader inspires with why. The team figures out how.
And Chapter 9 reinforces the link between why, how, and what.
Yes, making sure the tangible result is always proof of the why and achieved through the how. Inconsistencies are deadly for trust.
If you say your why is environmental sustainability, but your what involves polluting factories using a cheap how,
people will call you out, and rightly so. It has to be authentic all the way through.
then Chapter 10 has a slightly counterintuitive title. Communication is not about speaking, it's about listening.
Yeah, it sounds odd at first, but it means you don't just broadcast your why.
You need to understand your audience.
Exactly. You need to understand their beliefs, their values. Effective communication connects your why to something they already believe in. You're listening for resonance.
Speaking to them, not just at them. Connecting with their existing worldview.
Precisely. Tapping into those shared emotions and beliefs.
Now, Part 5 warns about the challenges, particularly that success itself can be the biggest hurdle. Chapter 11, when why goes fuzzy.
This is a common trap. As organizations grow, the focus naturally shifts towards managing complexity, towards metrics, towards the what and how.
The original flame, the why, can dim a bit.
It can get lost in the day-to-day operations. People forget the founding purpose, or new people join who never fully grasped it.
Leading to what he calls the split in Chapter 12.
Right. This is when there's a gap between the leader's vision, or the original why, and how the organization actually operates. The connection weakens.
Especially during transitions, maybe, like founder succession.
That's a classic danger zone. If the successor doesn't embody or champion the original why, the organization can lose its soul, its driving force.
So maintaining that shared belief system is crucial for long-term health.
Absolutely. It needs to be embedded in hiring, promotion, culture, everything.
Okay, finally, Part 6 is about discovering why. How do you actually find it? Chapter 13 talks about origins.
And the key here is discover, not invent. Sinek insists your why already exists.
It's not something you brainstorm in a marketing meeting.
No, it comes from your past, your upbringing, formative experiences, the moments that shaped your core values and beliefs. For an organization, it's often rooted in the founder's original passion and motivation.
So it requires some introspection, looking back.
Definitely. Reflection on what truly drives you, what gets you excited, what impact you want to make. It's authentic because it's already part of you.
And having this discovered why changes how you view competition, doesn't it? Chapter 14, the new competition.
It does. If you have a clear why, your focus shifts. You're not just trying to beat competitors on features or price.
You're focused on advancing your own cause, your own belief.
Exactly. Your main competition becomes yourself. How can you better live up to your why? How can you advance your purpose more effectively?
Because your why is unique to you. it's not directly comparable.
Right. It's an inimitable advantage. You inspire people based on your purpose, not just by trying to be slightly better than the next guy.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, if you're listening and thinking about applying this, what are those absolute core principles from Start With Why?
I'd say, first, nail down and articulate your purpose, your why, before anything else. Clarity is step one.
Well, remember, people connect with that why. They buy the belief, not just the product.
Absolutely. Inspiration beats manipulation every time for long-term success and loyalty.
Use the golden circle why, how, what is your communication framework, inside out.
And be consistent. Your why, how, and what must align. That's how you build trust.
Leaders need to embody and communicate the why.
While empowering their teams to figure out the how. It's a partnership.
Your why is authentic, it's discovered, not made up.
Yes. And protect it fiercely, especially when you become successful. Don't let it get fuzzy.
Lead with that belief.
Yeah.
And you'll attract the people who believe what you believe.
And ultimately, remember that leadership, true leadership, is about inspiring action, not just controlling outcomes.
That's a fantastic summary. Really captures the essence of Sinek's message.
It's a powerful framework. Simple on the surface, but quite profound when you dig into it.
Thanks for listening. Grab Ysh Estayo's latest book on Amazon. Need business consulting, artificial intelligence, book writing, and publishing? Ysh has your back.
Contact Ysh Estayo or leave a comment.
Until next time, keep diving deep.